We are here with Allison,
Marlene,
Brandon Johnson from Select,
420 Ultimate Chance on Instagram,
Gabby,
Jonathan,
Amethyst,
Dan, aka Danibus the Manibus.
I own Canna Friends, I own Blue Dream Entertainment, and I'm on the board of AZ Normal as a treasurer.
Actually the marketing manager for Select in Arizona and in Utah.
I invented the flicker lighter, so I have the little lighter case that spins. So if you guys are familiar with the fidget spinner, it's a lighter case you can pull out and put your lighter in. And put your logo and put your company's branding on it as well. The first 420 bus here in Arizona, which is called the 420 Ultimate Tours. It's a bus centered tours where people get on it and have a good time, and we go learn all about the cannabis industry here in Arizona.
By myself, I'm just like an adventure seeker, always just trying to have fun, find the best things for, everyone in the community, and, cannabis overall really drew me to this, or this kind of community really got my attention. Reason being is I feel everyone that's in this industry wants to help others and just make life a better place. So, I'm really grateful to work for High Grade as long as that I have, done a lot of the educations with all the bud tenders throughout the whole valley. So it's a lot different than what I expected. If I was 5 years old and you asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, cannabis was not part of that idea. But I'm glad that I'm here where I am right now.
I am the field marketing representative for Sunday Goods and the Farm. So I do event coordination with the field marketing manager, and I'm in charge of our brand ambassador program.
Allison Stein with the Kush Chronicles, and I'm also on the board of Arizona Normal. I'm the director of civic engagement and community liaison with Arizona Normal, which is really just a fancy title for cat herder. With the Kush Chronicles, I am a writer and a storyteller, and I like to report legislation that happens in Arizona, and I do videos about it, and then I cover events and fun things going on in the community.
When I first came into the industry, they always just been around. They're always there for what you need. But I can't pinpoint exactly how I have to ask Zach about that. But Dope Squad is dope. Go get your dope sacks and all that.
I believe it was at Earlcup. That's where I saw your guys' booth, and then I of course met you guys, and yep, since then, loyal since day one.
This lovely lady right here. This is who I encountered. Yeah. Always representing. You're such a vibe. You definitely just drew me to you. So that was my first encounter, and every time I'm over at these events, I always like to pay my respects. I think of everyone being like a friend or a, sister from another mister kind of thing. So that's ultimately how I felt about your guys' brand. And I came in, bought a little merch just to be like, hey, I'm representing, homie.
Thank you. Canna Friends before I took over when Christina was doing it, and awesome picture booth.
Thank you.
Awesome products.
Actually I can't remember if it was through Cannabis Cactus or if it was through an event that Select was already at and MJSW was already there. But I do remember doing the tie-dye party 2 years ago before COVID and all of that. I think it was like the original OG tie-dye at Dom Live. I think it was 2019. That's when I really, had a really good memory and an experience with Jane SmokeWear.
You guys have always just been there. I don't really remember being at an event that you guys weren't at. When I met Michael, he always said that you guys helped out with the shirts, and you still do, even though now he's gone. You still help us out, and we did a kick-ass event together.
I have this crop top, long sleeve kind of jacket, but it's not a jacket. It's like a sweater type-ish. It's really nice, comfortable. All their clothing it's really soft. So I even saw the underwear. That's like my next to go to for sure.
That Ninja Turtle shirt she got on right there, the one that's doing the recording. So I would suggest go get that. That's gonna be a classic.
The Ninja Turtle.
That's gonna go down in history right there. Right there. I like that one for sure. So I need one of those so I can wear it to the next MITA meeting.
It's this shirt. I'm not even lying. It is this shirt. It is so comfortable. It fits perfectly. You have no idea how hard that is, but it's Oh, it's absolutely amazing, and I get so many compliments on it every time I wear it.
They have a nice cool cross hat with the joint. I like that one a lot.
I love the Fuck the DEA sticker, but I also have the Mary Jane SmokeWear jacket.
The bomber jacket?
Yeah.
The
And
embroidery.
I really like the new,
Tie-dye?
yeah,
I am
I'm in the cannabis industry. Because I get asked it all the time, like, are you in the cannabis? I'm like,
Yes.
so that's a cool shirt because it just kind of explains it outright.
It's really hard, but the stony turtle for sure. I feel like that would be me. Yeah. I'm on it.
The stony turtle.
The stony turtle.
Yeah.
Your little
Slow
lame
and steady wins the race. Especially when I'm stoned. I am that turtle.
My first ever cannabis industry event was at when the Women's Grow, right? They was giving away some type of drink. It was like a drink, so I'm just taking it. Nothing. Take about 4 shots of it. So I end up sleeping at the event. I passed out. I was driving the 420 Ultimate tour bus. And then I slept at the event until the next morning because the drinks just had me. I underestimated what was in the drink.
It was actually my brother. Yeah, I think I found his pipe. Yeah, I found his pipe, and I think I was 13 years old, and he kind of looked at me and was like, "Should I offer it?" And I was like, "You should. You know, just a bad instigator." And he was like, "Just one hit." Took one hit and got serious munchies. I remember going into the fridge and he's like, "What's wrong, Marlene? You feeling hungry?" And I was like, "How'd you know?" And yeah, that was my first experience with cannabis.
I was probably like 14, let's say, 14, 15. And then the first time I smoked, I didn't like it. I had a terrible experience. I was fucking so paranoid because I didn't know my parents were gonna beat me up. But after I graduated is when I really started to indulge it, and I didn't have that paranoia anymore because I was on my own. I was like, I could do whatever I want.
I was 13.
13. Who was the first person who introduced you to cannabis?
My niece's mom, my best friend at the time. And I got bit by a dog and I started laughing.
You got bit? Were you bleeding and still
No,
laughing?
it was so weird. Like, I got bit and it didn't puncture my jeans, but it like went through and like hit my skin. And I didn't bleed or anything. It was just like this weird like thing that was going on. And then my mom saw it. And my mom was like, "What happened to your leg?" And I was like, "I got bit." She's like, "By what?" By a dog. Is the dog rabies tested? And she made this big deal about it.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, they had to quarantine the dog, make sure the dog didn't have rabies. And my friend got mad at me.
Yeah, the first time I thought I was flying in a way. Like, my cousin took me into the Mount Lemon, those things where I don't know what they're called, where you slide. I was tripping on them really hard. Yeah, I thought when I was up there, I thought I was flying. I started crying, and yeah.
My friends in 8th grade, actually. Yeah.
We got a youngster over here. That's the youngest I've heard so far.
Oh my god, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm just kidding. But you know,
What, the 8, 13?
yeah, like 14, 13, 14, like around there. So, I mean, honestly, I did not get high the first time I smoked, and I had to smoke a few times to like feel it or whatever. But yeah, it's been a while, honestly.
Actually didn't start smoking it but until like 2013-ish, when I was still in bed from my multiple sclerosis and I had 7 pill bottles and nothing was helping still, and so I tried cannabis, and ever since then I just gradually got better, and that's how I'm here today.
Since I was 13 years old, I started young. So I am 29 now, about 16 years. Yeah.
In high school, I had a friend where we obviously had weed, and basically he got a marker and he took out the ink part and like finagled a way to make a pipe out of a marker. But we took out the ink, so it was like one of those markers where like the inside of it.
Did it melt a little bit when you sparked smoked it, or did you
No,
guys?
he had a nut in a bowl. Like he was prepared. Like he had like.
We stoners come with all things.
Honestly, I know. So he was definitely prepared, and he finagled his device. And that day, I smoked out of a marker.
Strawberry.
Oh, strawberry. Was it gushy, or?
It was,
juicy?
but it was juicy. It tastes really good. It had a good taste to it. So those seeds were.
Would say, classic can pipes, we've all been there. Green apples were my favorite because it was so natural, you just eat it afterwards.
I was gonna ask you what you eat it, and you said yes.
And I eat the whole thing too. I eat it from the top down, so I eat the core and everything.
So you would get that extra high because of the weed being left behind the apples.
Slight infusion action, if you know what I mean.
I don't think I've done, I feel like I'm pretty basic in that area. I've always done the apple. I kind of want to try a pineapple now that I'm thinking about it, put like a straw in it or something. We're going to go places, But I would say just pretty much, no, now that I'm thinking about it, we've MacGyvered water bottles. Oh no, I remember I remember now. Yeah, there was this one time where my friend and I got just like a regular paint bucket, and we made this huge funnel, and we made like a gravity bong out of it.
A funnel. Wow.
Oh my gosh! And like you just like have all the smoke in the bottom and just like push it all out. One hit, you're done. Yeah.
I think the first time I did a gravity bong, I swear to God, I stepped into a new dimension. I remember they were filling it up as they were pulling it, lifting it, and it started filling up. And I was like, all right, so what are you doing there? All right, so put your mouth and push down, and it'll inhale. And I remember kind of inhaling and just goddamn, and everything was I was high as fuck. It was gravity bong.
Honestly, there's so much out there. When we're shopping for cannabis, it's really the tip of the iceberg. A lot of people like to go for those high THC percentages, and we only think THC is the solution, but THC is just one cannabinoid. There's hundreds of cannabinoids. Their most prevalent ones are maybe 8 or 10 you commonly see in the dispensaries. But like I said, we're barely scratching the tip of the iceberg. So there's so much information to, dive deeper than that. There's also terpene profiles and really understanding what your body needs, Once you understand that's for example, I'm going to use me. I deal with a lot of body pain, so I pay attention to terpenes that, like caryophyllene, that's an anti-inflammatory. It's found in peppers and cloves. I like linalool, that's found in lavender. That's what makes me relax and stuff. I also like myrcene because it's a sedation, and it just makes me feel good when I go to sleep at night. So it's that combination of that knowledge, knowing that and finding the right strain that contains that really gets me where I need to be. Hate's a strong word, but I cannot smoke high THC percentages because I get foggy in the brain. And you've seen me, I am not the same person.
I have. I was like, what's wrong with you? This is not the person I know. She goes, I'm just really
I was too high. So you're not going to get the same bubbly personality that you're getting right now. And so for me, I just like what really addresses what my needs are. And I wouldn't have known that. A lot back in the day, I used to go and give me an indica because people would tell me, indicas help with pain, and that's not necessarily true. There's indicas that help with sleep, with pain, relaxation. Some even make you feel like a sativa for some people. So you really just have to understand your body and think of it all as this is the best tip I give to all budtenders and people when shopping for cannabis. When you're looking at all of it, think of looking at a vehicle. Picture this analogy. You're in a vehicle. Your cannabinoid content is going to be that gas pedal, the acceleration, the power of that vehicle. But ultimately, what's steering your high to the direction that you're looking for is those terpenes. And when you understand those two together, you're going to just be in the happiest place you've ever been.
The medicinal part of it. You have to learn and do your research and learn how it can help you in a medicinal way. Recreational is cool, but it's changing lives and it's saving people. Medical marijuana is where it's at. It's an alternative to people that's looking for an alternative to traditional medicine. So if you're about that, if you're looking for information about it, reach out to Dope Squad. Reach out to Dope Squad or anyone here in the cannabis industry. We'd be happy to help you.
Tea break every once in a while. Understand why you smoke rather than just smoking because it's cool. I think really understanding that makes it a big difference than being just a stoner.
Is that cannabis is not what you think it is. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to cannabis is you have a perception of it before you've tried it, before you've been talked to about it, from your parents, from a loved one, from someone you know dearly that you respect and trust. And, you know, really take everything that you use with cannabis and that you learn with cannabis with a grain of salt, and that, you know, you need to learn from yourself and not learn from other people, because that's when you learn and retain the most information. And I think, you know, coming from that is just, you know, just definitely don't ever forget about the education, and, you know, always be curious, always ask questions, and that's what I always do. And even to this day, 6 years in the industry.
Smoke because you need it, not just because it's, I guess, fun, but smoke it as well. But yeah, just check out a lot of the industries that are out here. See, like Tom's Palms. There's a lot, especially Mary Jane does a lot of things out here in the community. So you guys are amazing.
There's a couple of things, right? Like the high THC stigma. There's no correlation between higher THC and like satisfaction from it. Indica sativa hybrid being different ways that we're high. It's not true. It's how the plant's grown. You know, so if we can get away from that and start focusing more on like effect-based formula, I think that'd be tight. You know, more journaling, more of like what affects me this way, that way kind of stuff is like I would like to see that.
That is nothing like heroin. It's nothing like alcohol. It's not going to make you do
Not
any.
what reefer madness makes you.
No, and I feel maybe the biggest injustice was being lumped in with all those people with really bad substance abuse problems. Like that was always such like a bummer, I guess you could say, like rehab for weed.
Oh my goodness. Maybe like some Canna Friends headbands or something. Possibly. Or tank tops. I love me some tank tops. We've always just done the plain logo, so maybe like a really cool design would be fun.
I think like it's all on the table. You know, I never am gonna say no to something. And the slogan and something that we believe in as Select is that everything is possible, and I always believe that too. And I think, you know, if we just collaboratively put our minds together, I would put out some dope stuff.
I'm a big advocate for hats. You know, I think a hat would be really dope, especially that's something that we're kind of working on in our brand right now is new models and stuff. So, I mean, that kind of fits both genders. Dab mats, just to keep it like in the community, you know, kind of thing. Or, you know, the classic sticker. You can't go wrong with a sticker as well, you know. Everyone sticks those at every location, so.
Podcast stuff. Just get on and do like a second part of this, or however we can help at 420 Ultimate Tours or whatever we're doing. We're all about supporting the community. Dope spot.
That's a good conversation to have. I think we're getting ready to get some new swag, so I think like an email could be sent and a conversation could be had, and I think that would be a good idea. It's professional. I've been in the industry for about 7+ years. I do have black market experience. I mean, who doesn't?
Who does not have that?
But yeah, so I started at Emerald Phoenix, worked for Debbie's and a few other dispensaries. You know.
About 3 now. What year is this? About 3.
Since 2021, actually. So we officially launched then. We had like Kickstarter, COVID, all that other fun stuff. But officially since 2021, we've been hitting the ground and going to these events and hanging out with people.
In the industry, this will be my 6th year. So long. Thank you.
I want to smoke with my idol. His name's Zed. He's a famous DJ. You know, if I can make music and smoke with him, I'm golden.
Snoop Dogg, for sure.
Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg.
Would you be able to outsmoke him?
Nah. But I would love to, nah, his shit's probably, I feel like some people get premium stuff. That shit's on some new level. I wouldn't be, imagine what Snoop Dogg gets. He gets the creme de la creme. So like, he's on a new level. But the idea of being able to smoke with Snoop Dogg and like even jokingly rap with him would be kind of cool. I feel like he's a cannabis icon.
Gosh, I'm just gonna be the biggest Lady Gaga fan right now and just say I would rather smoke with Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, that is a good one. I like that one.
Oh yes, I need to toke it up with her.
Wiz would be dope. just because, I feel like that's kind of a common stoner answer, but I think it's because he's a little bit of a deeper person, nowadays, maybe since his earlier rap was a little bit more shallow. He's kind of grown and had a son and stuff, so I'd love to talk with him about, parenting as a stoner and being a cannabis professional and also a dad. That'd be cool.
I started out smoking flower, but my favorite way to consume cannabis is dabbing. I'm definitely an oil guy, live resin, live rosins. If not, I'll do edibles and like vape pens, like my handy dandy Select Click Pod that I always have on me.
What is it, Banana Daddy?
Yeah, the
that
Banana
shit
Daddy.
Is fire.
Tina already knows.
Indica because of my PTSD. I usually dab, but I also like flower and edibles. Really, it doesn't matter.
I love it all.
I love it all. Bring it.
It's just all medical. It helps me sleep at night, and it helps with some pain. So with me, it's medical. And when I'm hanging out with friends, I'll do a recreation. I like sativa if I'm going out to have a good time, but I'm more of an indica type person where I can sleep good. I want a good night's sleep, so I can get up in the morning and do what I do.
Dab concentrates, I prefer a good hash rosin. I'll burn flower socially, but I really like to use the PAX 3 and vape my flower. It's a little bit better for my lungs because I do work out and I'm an athlete. So.
I would say both. So the first time I took a tea break is when I kind of noticed that I have a little bit of anxiety, but again, a part of me thought, was that because I'm going through this tea break that I'm feeling anxious? But at the same time, I think for my nervousness and then just other stuff like that, and for recreational.
Media at AZ Canna Friends on both Facebook and Instagram, and then Blue Dream AZ on Instagram and Facebook.
What I gotta say is, have fun, be creative. There's a lot of different ways you can take cannabis. The thing about me is I'm very artistic, so the reason that what drew me to this brand is because, I'm a mixologist. I love making music, and with cannabis, it really enlightens me in the music area. And when it comes to mixology, you can make any drink cannabis infused. You want a margarita with cannabis and alcohol? We can make that.
Look us up at 420 Ultimate Tours. We also have a trade association called the ABCTA. And yeah, just look us up. Connect with us. Come out and party with us. The bus will be rolling here in a couple months. 420 Ultimate Tours. You're welcome to come on and come join us.
Select, you can definitely find us around all the dispensaries throughout Arizona. You can also find us at our home at Curaleaf. And as for myself, you can find me online on Instagram. My handle is BRBrandon, BRBRANDON. I'm a photographer as well, so if you need a photographer for any occasion, let me know. I'm your guy.
Smoke weed every day.
Here I'm with Sunday Good, so we have 2 Valley locations, one off 16th Street in Glendale, one off of Tempe, or in Tempe off Scottsdale Road in the 202. 5 first-time patient specials, so 2 30% offs, 2 40% offs, and then a 50% off on all Sunday Goods products. So come check us out. The Tempe location is gorgeous. At Dannabis, DANNABIS, like cannabis with a D, period, and underscore on Instagram.
The Kush Chronicles actually is Kush Chronicles with it. Chronicles is with a K, and then it's AZ on Instagram. So the Kush Chronicles AZ, and then you can just Google it too. It's thekushchronicles.com.